Hello and welcome back to another VOD review. This time we have the NYXL going up against the Hangzhou Spark. So as everyone predicted, right? We all went for the NYXL. I don't think anyone expected Spark to win, right? NYXL, very good veteran team. Has a lot of great, talented play. They have Dronak. But yeah, NYXL seriously looked very good. They ended up getting the win over Spark. I think everyone thought Spark was going to win. They've been playing incredibly well. I'm not going to lie. I watched this match. I'm not too in-depth, but I watched it. I don't agree really with how either of these teams are playing the game. And I'll sort of explain that as we go on. The NYXL style is fine. It's kind of like old school way of how we're playing like the slow down Orisa comps, while Spark are just committing to the Anna Winston, which seems really weird because Anna Winston is things that were played way back at the start of June Joust, but then everyone found out doesn't work to the sheer amount of damage that you can do with an Orisa comp. Spark apparently didn't get the memo, and they actually heavily struggled in this match. They do pretty well on this control because Winston Anna is good on control because it allows them to up the tempo, but yeah, if I'm gonna give my early 2 cents about both of these teams, is that NYXL, in my opinion, is the heavy underdog heading into this June Joust. I think they are, if they do not have more depth in the way that they play the game, I'm worried that they're not going to perform very well. So, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the East is like geniuses and this is the best comp. We'll see.
1.
You watch it live? No, I watched the VOD. So we got this. So they're playing Winston Anna Brig, Reaper Echo Zaya against McCree Reaper Orisa, Diva Bap Brig. I like NYXL's comp more. I think the Spark have more initiative, and I think I definitely like it more for control. But yeah, we'll see. How good do you think Flora is? I think Flora has been one of the more impressive pieces from this from the NYXL team. I think he does very well in this match. NYXL Spark counter. I just don't like the way Spark. I don't like Spark comp, and we'll go over it more as we watch the series progress. Like with how strong we know Echo is, right? Where like Echo is busted, needs heavy nerfs. Like NYXL just don't play Echo a whole lot of the time. Like they play this like Reaper McCree. Feather does play it at times, but yeah, it just seems very weird. So NYXL get the first advantage. They get caught in this, Spark gets caught in the room, and off we go. I think the crowd affected Spark easily. Yeah, it could have been nerves. It could have been any number of things, right? So. I disagree with the Echo is broken sentiment. If you think Echo isn't broken in this current meta right now, like it like blows my mind. I don't know, like it's not like ridiculously broken, but I think it's definitely a must pick in this current meta. But with Echo, with Sombra Tracer not in the meta, I really do. And if you disagree with that, I want you to go watch the Houston Outlaws match and tell me that Echo isn't really good, and that you shouldn't also play Echo. And yeah, if you're using the Echo isn't broken because in my ranked games, then that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in the Overwatch League. I don't like how much space the NYXL gives here. Like, they literally give them everything. Sort of gives them an advantage. Like, it didn't cost them that much, and then they just get the nano. See, they get the point for somewhat free, right? With just the nano, and then, yeah, NYXL didn't even really put a fight up for Spark taking the point. Can someone explain to me why teams play Reaper without Lucio? Because you don't need a Lucio, because you can teleport into the backline. But also, the way that the Spark are playing the NYX, it's honestly both teams. The way it's working is teams are going to get up in each other's face, right? They're not going to be shooting from range. If they're ever going to be up in each other's face, then Reaper is always going to be good in this meta. So, with how aggressive the Spark is going to play, the Reaper will always get value on both sides. Okay. NYXL start walking up. NYXL playing it very slow. It feels so slow compared to what we just watched in NA. Right? Like, it feels like no one's really doing a whole lot. Maybe it's the 9 echo copies that seem to happen. Like, it felt like NYXL, right? Like, it felt like NYXL just, like, slowly walked up and Spark didn't use any of their ults. Like, they used the rally, but didn't really use it as a group. And then Shy dies, and then Gushway dies, but then, like, where's Architect for all this? Like, Architect's, like, behind now, but it comes so late after Gushway and Shy are dead. Like, I don't know. This feels... Okay. Flora gets the cap. Oh, and gets Banal with that. I thought they might have been able to turn that, but... Don't let them cap. Alright. So Spark get back control of the point. Alright, so NYXL is going to walk up slowly, so Spark have the grab echo copy. So they'll probably use the echo copy to slow this down. I think a Shy Diva copy would be pretty good here. Then go in with Gushway. Architect TP's in, you know? Pretty classic. There it is, Gushway in. Grab out. Diva copy. Oh yeah, that's the ball game on that first round. Let's ignore this first man. All right, well that was a weird fight. That was a weird round. It felt like no one really did a whole lot in that round. Apex started to play more aggro when they played NA. Yeah, it's just because NA ups the tempo a lot, right? So let's see how it goes again. So we're gonna see mirror comps again, except Feather's gonna play the Echo, Flora's gonna play the Reaper. Okay. So I kind of like this comp by NYXL. I think it does a pretty good job at shutting down Spark's style of trying to play aggressive, right? The Echo Reaper gives you a good amount of poke. The Brig will hopefully give you some consolidation. All that kind of stuff, right? I feel like NYXL should probably be more aggressive. Okay, here you go. Yeah, IDK's dead. And Gushway should go down for that as well. Okay, NYXL get the point. That was like, you guys see what I mean, right? Like, it feels like there is no hard engage. Like, it doesn't feel like both teams are diving into each other, right? Like, it feels like they're both playing really slow and it's whoever gets a pick, right? No one's getting ult charged. Maybe it's just because we've been playing Lucy and Murray comps in the West, but it just feels like a completely different game. Would it be better to have them 10 and 10 instead of NA, 12 NA and 8 APAC? 100%, but I don't think they could do it. I'm sure if the league could, they would, but you can't just ask Western franchises, hey, can you play out of APAC? Right? They don't have enough Chinese or Korean teams in the lineup, but we already have NYXL and like a bunch of teams and Philly that were willing to move to APAC because they have bases in there, but yeah. Alright, so NYXL playing the thing. I don't know why the Orisa Diva gave up control of the high ground. At least Diva Echo's up here now. Just move all your operations to APAC? Yeah, and that's sort of like... That's the thing, is like, obviously it'd be great to have 10 and 10, but you can't just, like, organizations just can't move all of their operations to APAC. That's just not how it works. It's so expensive and so hard to do. Because I think there are a couple of teams that would do it, like move to Korea, like, you know, your Florida Mayhems, your Washington Justices who have fully Korean rosters, but business side, it's not, they're not going to do that. So, they just, look at how much space the NYXL give the Spark. They literally give them all the high ground, all the positioning. Their backline is just Wing, like S-ing back. Just take all the space, and then they window all the way back here, and then they just get a Nano Winston in their face, though. seems way too passive by the NYXL. Is that Philly Fusion money? Well, it's more that the support. Philly Fusion is owned and run by T1, which is a Korean esports organization. So that's why it was easy for them to have that. Against Joust, these guys would be already dead. Yeah, like literally just basically watching this off the bat right now, I think NYXL is going to get run over. Like there is no way. If this dive by the Spark is running over the NYXL, Dallas is going to come in hard and fast at these guys. Thought Philly was owned by Comcast. Philly is owned by Comcast, so that is their major investor. But as far as I'm aware, all operations is run by T1, is how I remember it.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
All right, so we get a Reaper copy from Feather. NYXL slowly walking up. I don't know why Yakpung put the bongo there. Gets himself isolated. Oh god, that was a good play by... Who is that? Gushwei? Oh, he pushed him back. I was like, he pushed him into his team, but then he pushed him out. Okay. So, NYXL kind of gets a little split with their Orisa and their backline. Just sort of causes a bit of an issue. Neither rally gets banged. T1 the streamer? No, T1 is an esports organization that is run in Korea. They are mainly known for their League of Legends team.
Adjusting angle of attack.
SKT T1, yeah. T1 does not own. Comcast has a stake in T1. Yeah, it's as I said, it's operations. T1's just function, like, is the operations. Like, they help with the operations and that kind of stuff, right? Like, there's an agreement there somewhere. I don't 100% obviously know the logistics of it all, but yeah. So now, once again, we have the NYXL stepping up the window. They don't really have much else going for them. We're going to get a dive from the Spark, which is good. Nano Winston, Diva copy. And NYXL is just getting pushed into a corner. The bomb from Bianca isn't going to really get a whole lot done. Spark can just consolidate on the point at this point, right? And clean up. This was a very unexciting map. I didn't remember it being this slow and boring. That was... There weren't that many kills in that round. Like, in both rounds. It's a lot less chaotic, but it feels like neither team is playing very proactively, right? Like, NYXL is just walking into this dive by the Spark, and then the Spark get away with it, right? Like, how did Spark lose to NYXL overall? So, you know how I was just talking about, so these teams play the same comp pretty much, like, on every single map. So, the Winston comp, the Winston Ana comp, as I said, is like, they can take positioning and they can hold the chokes, and because of control, it's hard for NYXL to regain the space once they lose it, because every time they try and step up, they get dove on by a Winston Ana, Echo copy, Reaper in the backline, right? But if we go over to a map like Temple of Anubis, they're going to play this Orisa style, and it's a lot harder to dive with your Winston and Ana onto this comp, because the comp can play a lot slower and a lot more methodical without just like getting blown out of the water because it's a map like Control. And faster comps generally are more valuable on Control, and that is why I expect to see a lot of the Lucio and Moira played in and have a lot of success in this upcoming weekend, because it's just fast, it's tempo, and that's why even teams that are very good at double shield are playing Lucio and Moira on Control. So here we go. Please tell me they're not actually going to play Orisa Xayah. Why not just play D.Va? D.Va's really good against the comp that Spark are playing. The comp that Spark are playing, the D.Va's very good against the Reaper and the Echo. It's very good against Winston. Very good against Xayah, because you can eat the grab. It's good against Ana. Seems weird. The only thing that might be a stretch is that it doesn't allow Shy to copy the D.Va because you're not playing the D.Va yourself. But that, I don't think people are actually doing that. Right? Right? Bianca's not a great D.Va? Then they're gonna get murdered by the West. So NYXL's playing slow. If you're the Spark, you want to hold as much positioning here as you can, get your nano up, and then you can dive, right? So Flora TP's in, gets forced out. Time to go aggressive. That's go time. Yakpong stepping up, has the shield. Flora doesn't have a Wraith. Time to go aggressive. Guess, oh. Okay. I'm really surprised Gushui dies. How does MCD have such low ult charge? I feel like MCD should have a lot of ult charge here.
This will only hurt further. Get back in the fight.
Alright, so the Reaper TP in with the Xayah bubble. Maybe that's what they're going for, but I don't think you need a Xayah bubble. You just need a TP into a smart location, like that's not in their face. Okay, the window by Jonak gets disengaged from. Well, I don't like that Bianca used both of his bubbles there. I think he's gonna want one of those. He's gonna, at least his personal. But
New defense point. New defense point. Objective B. Name.
okay.
Taking off.
See, it's like every one of my quick play games, yeah. Nobody wanted to touch the point. No one wanted to be the first person on the point. Okay. Unlucky? Just unlucky. It's fine, it's fine. We'll go on to the next one. I would like to see Spark play aggressive before NYXL gets into this room. I think if they let NYXL into this room and play out of this room, then I think Spark are going to have a hard time contesting it.
Adjusting angle of attack.
Okay, is NYXL going in or not? What are we doing here? Are they farming an ult? Maybe farming window?
Pass into the ass.
I wonder why did Hangzhou use Zarya instead of DVA unlike Chengdu match.
Yeah, it seems weird that they're playing this Xayah. I don't understand why. I don't like the Xayah over the D.Va. I much prefer a D.Va, because I think the D.Va mitigates the Reaper, mitigates the Echo very well. The D.Va bomb's a better ultimate. I think Grav is hard to get value from at certain times. I don't really know. I'm really confused by this match thus far. It feels like they're playing at half speed compared to what we watch in the West. Window goes down, it's going to give him a lot of free position. Like, all of that, and NYXL Spark still hasn't gone. Alright, so now they go, but they've lost a lot of positioning, so no one can really follow up. Like, look at where everyone is. If anything, I think Gushui might get isolated here. Oh. Flora drops the Reaper ult. He gets naded, he gets grabbed. Like, they saved the grab, and he doesn't even get Flora. That's a good grab onto Gushui. The counteract grab by Bianca isolates Gushui pretty heavily. Just don't die, Feather. Just live. Oh, Bianca went a little aggressive there, I think. I think they need to take this main positioning, right? They need to get back here. Oh, he just gets beamed by Shy. MCD's still here. Okay, so Architect's there. They eventually get MCD. Jonak needs to live. Oh, he lives. Should I go over committed for that? That window's a problem. That's going to do so much damage for Jonak, but also healing.
Engaged. Winston.
Oh my god, Architect actually just died, like, instantly out of that. Okay. I just don't feel like Spark is putting up much of a fight, like, at all.
Round 1 complete.
That they gave NYXL way too much space. They gave Spark NYXL everything they wanted. They let NYXL get positioned in the dark room. They let them control, they let them reset, they let them wait for their cooldowns, they let them drop the window on the exit, they let them take the space with the window, and then they nano the Winston in. Of course it's going to be hard for Gushue to get anything done. Of course it's going to be open the door for someone like Feather to get like a really good, or Flora, whichever one was playing the Reaper, to get a very good Death Blossom and get positioning, right? Like, it doesn't look like top level. It doesn't look like these. Wait, I'm not going to say it doesn't look like top level Overwatch. It doesn't look like the Overwatch that we watched from Atlanta and San Francisco Shock. This makes me more worried for NYXL heading into this weekend, because I don't think, like, NYXL, they're getting shit done and they look fine, but I just don't see Dallas or Atlanta giving them this kind of space. Like, there's no chance that they're going to get this much space against both of those teams. So they're farming Nano. It's pretty obvious that they're just... Gushue's trying to get Nano for MCD. Dallas already won the June Joust. I think there's chances that Shanghai are very, very good. And I also wouldn't discount Atlanta. So I don't think you can discount Atlanta or Shanghai. I think... Dallas, I think, are probably the easy favorites because I think you know what you're going to get from them, but I'm not 100% sold that it's just sold down the river. I think NYXL are the dark horse right now. So they actually went pretty aggressive before they got the nano. I don't like where Banar is. I think he's asking to die. I think he just manages to live here, but Bianca overcommits going for that. Gets punished. Gushue dies. They needed to get the nano onto him. I feel like they went a little bit too aggressive. Like, the plan was to get the nano, and then they went before the nano. And they're going to nano Banar. Okay, he must have high energy. Taking that space. I actually don't mind this window by Jonak. This is going to slow down what the Spark are going to do, right? Ooh, especially with that pull kill on MCD. That was good play by the NYXL. That should give them stabilization to get their... other players back. Every player went down on Shanghai's, even though they were swept off, because they were the second best team in the May Melee. And they were very dominant. They haven't been as dominant in the East. I think they struggled. They struggled in their earlier weeks when they were playing like Winston comps. But I like what Shanghai are doing now, and we'll go back and have a look at that later. I don't completely agree with all their comps, like with the Lucio Bap and stuff, but I like what Shanghai are doing the most out of the East. And they have the best players, I think, so. Talk about this week? Yeah, but like...
Wobble wobble, motherfucker.
They still 3-0'd Sol, right? So it was probably for other matches or whatever thing. I don't know exactly how Watson works, but there's probably a reason for it. I don't think it's because Shanghai all got worse. They did that off boobs. Well, they got Li Jing off boobs. They didn't get everything else off boobs. Like, Li Jing only really pounded for that one. So NYXL, Spark are trying to get very aggressive into this hallway. So they use their copy, and they get the point. NYXL's playing quite slow. Shy doesn't get the bomb, which caused a bit of issues. But also, like, look at this disconnect on this dive by Spark. So Shy turns into Diva. Gushue just jumps in, drops the bubble, but Architect and Banar are nowhere near to help either of these two. So they're not really diving. They're just sort of playing slow. They're not really committing too hard. And then all of a sudden they're getting themselves pinched on the point. NYXL just waiting for their ultimates. The grab is really bad. Like, that's a really bad grab by Bernard, I think. As much as it does isolate Yakpung a little bit, and he's like, it'll hold these guys, it's no one can follow up. No one can kill Jonak or Friday. Then they just walk in the room, give it a good old swingy swing, and they should win. Oh, that's ambitious by Architect. And Gushui uses Primal. Oh, is MCD gonna nano? I feel like MCD's about to nano Gushui. They're using ults to stay in this fight, but they're not using ults to win the fight, right? So there's the nano onto Gushui. And he just gets obliterated by the high noon. And they use IDK's rally. Like, they're literally just bleeding out all of their ults, but you're like, oh, they're still in the fight though, but the only reason they're still in this fight is because they keep using ults. Like, NYXL aren't really super threatened right now to what they're doing. So now all of a sudden you're like, okay, how does Spark win this? How does Spark get into this fight?
60 seconds.
Do you think the East is falling behind in strategy and cohesion due to the smaller amount of teams creating somewhat of an echo chamber? I just don't think they've been doing as good. I don't think their players are getting worse. I just don't think that what they're doing in the meta is good right now. Like, I feel like they're so behind the time. Like, if you look at these comps, right? Other than, like, the Reaper, if you look at these comps, this is literally what was, by Spark, this was what was being played at the beginning of the June Joust, and NYXL, this is what being played in, like, second week of, and, like, being played somewhat on certain maps by the West. But even then, people have given up on the McCree. It feels like they're using things that the West has already done and then has since been countered. And that is why I am worried for the East. Like, not a single team in the East has played Lucio Moira, I don't think. And that worries me for them, because Lucio Moira is one of the most suppressive comps that we have in the West right now. And I just don't like how they're coordinating. Maybe I'm a West bias boy, right? Like, maybe I'm just like, maybe I'm being unreasonable, but it just feels like this game is just being, neither of these teams, this looks like a middle of the pack face-off in the West. You know what I mean? The tempo of the two matches that we just watched, that we just reviewed, don't feel like they are anywhere, they're close to what we're watching right now. Didn't Philly try Lucio Moira? I'm not 100% sure.
Wobble, motherfucker.
Easy at one. Thank you very much for the gifted sub.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Diva.
We got a Weston William over here, yeah. So Shy goes and touches the point. Oh, Architect just doesn't. I don't think Architect's been able to get anything done on this Reaper as well. The same thing happened on their defense. Architect only used his Death Blossom when they were stuck in this room, right? Yeah, it didn't feel like Spark ever really held together a cohesive dive. Philly did a little bit of Lucio Moira? Huh, we'll have to have a look at that. Very tiny amount of Lucio Moira. Was it on control? How do you think Fusion will improve? I think Fusion will do better with Funny Astro in the lineup. I think Funny Astro is very, very good at what he does. Yo, Anthony, thank you for the 54 months as well. Happy anniversary. Anniversary from money. Thank you for the money. Yo, thank you very much, Anthony. Not having a Lucio as a Reaper is rough. We've seen it work. We've seen it work for some teams, but you have to be the one playing a heavy counter dive, right? The only times the Reaper really works is if, like, I actually don't mind the NYXL Reaper, but I don't like the Spark Reaper, right? It feels like it's hard for Architect to get that value of the dive because he can never sync up with Gushui or Bernard, because Bernard's not even really diving. So it doesn't feel like they can sync with what they're doing with the dive. I would much prefer to see Architect, like, if they're gonna play this, I'd rather see them just play the Lucio Moira, right? Like, why not play that comp of the Lucio Moira and have that high tempo against the NYXL? Because it feels like Spark is caught in this issue right now where they have a defensible comp with the Ana and the Brig, kind of like old school meta where people were playing the Ana Mercy with and you were nannying your Winston in, or you had your Echo, but then you also played with an Ashe, right? You also played with that hit scan. But because they're playing with the Reaper, it doesn't feel like they have that poke damage, but they're also not playing fast enough. So it feels like the Brig and the Reaper aren't getting enough value in this composition. So they're sort of caught in this medium tempo where they can't overrun the NYXL comp, but they also can't do enough damage from range to justify not going in. So they're kind of stuck between diving and not diving. While NYXL, I don't even really love exactly what NYXL is doing. We've seen a couple of teams try and play this style. Most recently, the Houston Outlaws, right? And I think this is an important thing to note going into the playoffs, right? Is this comp that the NYXL played, I'm pretty sure is the exact same composition that the Houston Outlaws played, right? And they got rolled over by the Dallas Fuel. Wait, was it? No, by the Atlanta Reign. Who did the Houston Outlaws lose to? It was the Outlaws, right? Sorry, it was the Dallas Fuel, right? Yeah, it was the Dallas Fuel. They got rolled over by the Dallas Fuel, right? And I think Houston Outlaws was better at this comp as well. Like, I honestly think... Let's actually have a look at this, because I actually want to draw this direct comparison. And make sure I'm not just speaking out of my ass.
But ZP...
Legitimately, look at this. Look at this comp by the Houston Outlaws. Right here. This is the comp that the Houston Outlaws played, and we flamed them for it, right? We flamed them because we were like, Reaper McCree doesn't work. You just get run over by this Lucio Moira comp. And like Houston Outlaws tried this like numerous times. Where are we looking? They tried this numerous times throughout all of Hanamura, where they tried to slow down the game, playing this Lucio, playing this Reaper McCree with this like counter dive style. But the issue that the Houston Outlaws ran into as well, let me try and highlight it in here, is the Houston Outlaws. Look at how much space. Look at how much space the Houston Outlaws had to give. I keep trying to like use it as if I'm in the Reaper. Look at how much space the Houston Outlaws have to give to the Dallas Fuel. And that's what the NYXL are doing in this map. We just saw that on the Temple of Anubis, where they were willing to give tons of space to the Spark, but the problem is the Spark couldn't capitalize on it. That's just not gonna fly with Dallas. Dallas is just a fucking different beast of like what's happening here, right? Houston was able to hold like bits and pieces from time to time, but eventually they just got absolutely rolled. And I would say this is the best point to make this work. If you're the Houston Outlaws, this is the best point to make it work. The McCree Reaper, all this style is only going to work on this point, let alone on every other map. So it's fearful for me that NYXL are going to try and run that on every single point, because that's what they do in this match. They run it on every single point. I think NYXL is going to get run over by the Dallas Fuel, and I think they're not going to control enough space against the aggression from the Atlanta Reign. Glad's did it right with Moritorb. Yeah, I think if you do want to play this style of NYXL where you are playing the heavy counter dive, you can't play the Brig. No, you can't play the BAP. I think the BAP just gets run over. And you can't play the McCree because the McCree gets run over. I think you play the Torb instead of the McCree, and you play the Moira instead of the BAP. Then you can sort of make it work, but even then, it gets really hard because you have to play the tempo so right, and you have to be able to punish the Dallas Fuel. And even the Gladiators couldn't make it work in the long run, right? So... Woo! Sorry. I'm actually going to close my window. Hello, Lucky Dobby. Just LA things. Hide the weed? What do you mean? That shit's legal. Alright, let's have a look at what this is. Too many hot takes, the cops are coming for me. So the Spark try and walk up, like, you don't have to be a rocket scientist, right? Or an Overwatch League level player to know if you're playing the Hangzhou Sparks comp, you're not going to be able to walk through this choke, right? It ain't rocket science. And so I'm kind of curious to see what Spark are going to do here. Alright, so it looks like they're gonna send Architect under them. Wade's legal hit advice to freak out if I hear a cop. True.
Wobble wobble, motherfucker.
Aaron McGuire, thank you very much for the 7-month subs. 7 months of sub. Alright, so they're gonna go from main. They're gonna jump Goosh way up.
Diva.
Architect gets punished going for, it looks like the flank TP. Oh, good high noon by Flora. Oh, good sleep by Jonak. Wait, not Jonak. MCD. Yo! Friday, the hero we need but don't deserve. He actually protected the lamp as well, which is actually probably more important. He protects the lamp, which keeps Jonak alive. Friday with the definition of get down, Mr. President. I think Spark did a really good job with their ults. Going from main, not only the Winston in, applying pressure that way, that's how you break this, right? You gotta force the NYXL out of their comfort of the high ground. So much better job on the second attack. That is still, it took them 2.5 minutes to get through there though.
Objective lost. Stop the pain.
Why is Spark playing Brig when there is no diver or flanker in the background? That is a very good question. And that is something that I really don't understand. I would much prefer to see IDK on the Mercy and pocketing Shy, right? I think if he was on Mercy and pocketing Shy, I think that would give the Spark way more aggression and poke that will force the NYXL to do something. Because the only person who can really fuck with you is like Flora, maybe a little bit of Jonak and Bianca, but if you play the right angles, it's going to give you a lot of space. So I don't really understand the Brig. I get it for the NYXL side because they're playing heavy counter dive, but from the Spark side, I don't really understand it. Flora counters though, but you say Flora counters the Mercy of IDK, well then what is Shy doing? If Flora is countering the air, then how is Shy expected to do anything? You're better off investing more resources into helping Shy be successful rather than being like, well, we can't really afford the Mercy against the McCree.
Cease your resistance.
The Bongo is not great by Yakpong. It just gets overrun. Double rallies. Architect keeps going for these flanking Reaper as well, and he just keeps getting punished by Flora. Flora is literally just ruining his day with every flashbang, but... Oh, God. That Nano's not going to get anything done. This fight's over. And what universe does Kree counter Mercy? It does counter Mercy. If you're playing a Kree and they're playing like a Pharah Mercy or an Echo Mercy, Kree is pretty good at holding them accountable. It's not a hard counter, but it's definitely like, as I said, it's not like, oh, if they have a McCree, you can't play Mercy. But it definitely makes it harder to play the Mercy or the Echo, right? We got a Diva Bomb engage. I don't know if I would like the Diva Bomb engage by... Oh, gets Shy, because Shy goes into the bubble. I don't know if I like the Diva Bomb engage, but I guess it wins them the fight. I feel like I would prefer to have that ult as a counter, like as a counter bomb, but because that's sort of the style that they're playing, but hey, fuck it. If it works, it works. Who do you think is the best player that is still playing in OWL since the first season? Prophet. Anyone that says otherwise, like, is using recency bias. I think Prophet is the best player that's played the game.
Engaged. Diva.
Dude, this is Yakpung's life this whole time. Fearless is the best player in the league? Yes, but feel like I think the point of what he's trying to say is that who's been the best player in the league since the beginning of the league? And it's Prophet. Fearless was not the best player in the league at the start of the league. Fearless was on the 0-40 Shanghai Dragons. Flutter's solid, yeah. Flutter's a good one, but Flutter also struggled on solo early on. Dude, Spark just can't get these cleanups. Architect could probably get a big Death Blossom. Yep, there it is. I like how he held it until the right moment, right? Because they couldn't get the kills. It's sort of putting like the nail in the coffin right there. Carpe is a good shout, but you can't like... Carpe has been great, right? But Prophet has literally won a 2018 championship, has always been dominant on every team he's ever played on, and he leads all the records in final blows and stuff like that. I think Fleta has been phenomenal, and I think Carpe has also been very good, but I think, you know, I think it's just Prophet. You can make your arguments that it's Carpe, but I think it's Prophet, and I don't think that's unreasonable. That's a pretty good disengage by the Hangzhou Spark here. Using the nano, they apply pressure, and then just like living out with the rally. Woo! And that's a good grab by Bernard. That should just force a lot of positioning for the NYXL. Bongo might give them an advantage though. Oh, nice nade on a Jonak and Flora.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Did Spark overextend here? Oh my god. Shai just got murdered. I honestly don't know who's winning this fight. I think it's NYXL. Wait. I don't know who's winning. This is very back and forth. Architect's doing a good job of being a distraction.
30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, look, Spark's doing a good job of just applying constant pressure. Because NYXL has to stay on the cart, Spark don't have to do a lot, right? All they have to do is just keep applying pressure and keep doing damage to whoever stays on the cart, and then boom. Another nail in the coffin by Architect. Drops down, hits the Death Blossom. Bing. Bang. Boom.
Is that it?
Yeah, I've seen the Orisa Zaya. We saw the Orisa Zaya on, Temple of Anubis. I wasn't in love with it. They switched off it pretty quickly, if I'm not wrong, right? Play the Reaper guy. Reaper guy's pretty good.
60 seconds remaining.
Time to raise my APM.
Hi. So Spark is just taking their time. That was weird, right? Let's look at this again. They played the defense with the diva? That's right, yeah. They played the Orisa Zaya actually worked on attack. So look at this play. And this is sort of what we talk about with like the slow style of this East, right? Instead of having the position and going, they literally walk everybody all the way around. Walk all the way up. And then instead of jumping off of here, they go all the way around, and then they kind of end in the same position. Like I don't really understand what we're doing here. Right? Like was that really necessary?
It's hand.
And then Shai just gets hit with a high noon. Like what? What was that?
Cease your resistance.
I also think playing this Zaya makes it really hard for them to mitigate Feather. I feel like Feather is just getting so much value every time he goes in. That seemed like that was awful by the Spark, if I'm being honest. Like they just walked around and did all these things and then just like didn't even go first. They're playing, it goes back to the exact point of they're playing a dive comp, but they're not playing with fast enough tempo. They're just letting the NYXL get away with everything they wanted, right? The only times they ever really won the fights, like I think their first fight was a good one, but like even then, they have to rely on their nanos and their ults to just like really close it out. They're really struggling to get like good engages. They have to just like really hope they get value out of their ults, and if they don't, they just don't win fights.
Defend objective A.
So here we go, Orisa Zaya, round 2 on the attack, but they're playing the Hangzhou and the Reaper. But it's just the same thing of like, if you're the Spark, how do you punish this, right? They're going to have to rely on Gushui getting this nano again because, like, if you're ever going to play Echo, like, why not just play the Mercy here? Here is a prime time to play Mercy. Can you imagine how good Shy with a Mercy pocket up by IDK would be in this situation? Nobody can deal with him. He would get a ton of poke damage. He would provide different amount of pressure so that Gushui can get more space. That'll take pressure off of Architect. But instead, they're playing this Brig defensive style that I don't know how they're going to get any value. Like, at some point, NYXL is just going to keep shooting arrows and Flora's going to kill somebody. Flora's just going to kill someone eventually. While Yakpong is just able to edge onto the point, play aggressive. Shy goes down. Like, their comp isn't doing anything. Like, Gushui dies, but there's no follow-up. Bernard just dies on the point. Oh, wait, is he gonna live? That's actually kind of surprising that he lives. He gets nanoed as well. Wow. Yeah, Flora kills IDK. Dragon splits the team. I really don't understand this Spark comp at all. Like, it's counterintuitive to themselves, to everything else. The Echo and the Winston can't do anything with the Brig and the Reaper because the Reaper can't go in with the TP because there's not a hard enough dive, and the Brig isn't going in but also not counter diving anything. And then they also have a Xayah for whatever reason to like bubble the Reaper and the Winston in. Alright, and now Architect goes Genji, right? But it's like, it's still not solving the problem. Of like, if Architect's gonna go Genji, then it's like, okay, well then we want to dive harder. Well then, why do you have the Xayah and the Brig then? Why don't they just go Diva Lucio? And even just playing a Lucio Ana or a Diva Mercy, and then the Mercy pockets the Echo, right? There's no push or pull, it just doesn't make sense. Because now they have to go even faster, right? Because they have a Genji. Blade grab, if your win condition is a blade grab, you're not gonna win many team fights. You'll win one every now and then, but you're not gonna win many. Is Shy playing well? At least not really, because he's not being given the tools to succeed. He can't do anything. He's just caught on this off angle, shooting at shields, as like Flora just shoots at him 100% of the time. MCD's on an Ana flank and just gets solo grabbed by Bianca. Like, what is MCD doing from over here? Going for a nade? Are they trying to go for a grav nade combo?
Reaper.
Architect goes down to the Reaper. Shy copies the Reaper. Don't worry, IDK is going to get a rally soon. And here's the thing is, I don't even really know how good NYXL is playing. I don't even think NYXL is playing super well. Like, I don't like the Orisa's Eye. Can you imagine the NYXL trying to play this comp versus the Dallas Fuel? I don't think it would go very well. Like, it's not awful, but I feel like they're just gonna get run over. Yeah, thanks, The Real Pixels. I'm glad you enjoy it. NYXL just steps up and kills Bernard. Here comes Gushui. He has a primal. But they got Bongo. Architect? Blade? Okay. Dorado. NYXL is kind of lucky they got Atlanta. Really? Because I think Atlanta's going to dumpster NYXL. I think NYXL is going to try and play their shield comp against Atlanta. And I think Pelican and Kai are going to take a big old poo on this NYXL team. I really think that. I think if the San Francisco Shock can't deal with it, the NYXL are in trouble. NYXL got this in the bag. I'm giving you guys early predictions. I don't think NYXL's got this.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Playoff teams currently in 1-4 to strength. I'm gonna put Atlanta at number 1 as just a fucking hot take because I just think it's interesting and I'm actually really rooting for Atlanta to do well because I think it'd be awesome. I think it would be a really cool shakeup of the league and I think they look really good. If they play like they did against Shock, against all the other teams, I actually think they can take it. So I'm going for that. But then I'm going to go Dallas, Shanghai, then NYXL. And I think NYXL is a big step down. I think there's chances for Dallas or Shanghai to take it as well. I think you can make arguments for Dallas and Shanghai. Atlanta no longer gatekeepers. Well, Atlanta has broken that mold, right? Like, I think historically we've called them gatekeepers. And I think that's not unreasonable to kill them gatekeepers. For the most part, Atlanta's always been that team who's kind of a good team in the middle of the pack, but has never been able to like make it deep in a playoffs, right? Or get any big wins. The only thing that I can really think of is the San Francisco Shock in the playoffs of 2019, right? Like they've had a couple of good ups and downs, but they've never like broken that mold, right? And that is why this is so hype for the Atlanta is they're breaking that mold. I think they're finally coming to their own and they're actually looking really good. And I think they have a chance to be the best. And there's nothing wrong with being the gatekeepers. Hey, I'd rather be the gatekeepers than be the bottom end team. But I think, and that's why I think it's awesome for the franchise that they're, and like the team that they're finally getting like some top end results. So
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
I could see Atlanta choke. I could see it as well. Like, you know, they've had situations where we've been really hyping them before and they've struggled. I don't think to this degree, like I've never seen them be this good. So I hope Atlanta wins. I really do. But yeah, let's look at this. And here's where I remember watching this and I remember just being so upset. For multiple reasons, right? Is like, when you are again with your back against the wall, mirroring the opposition comp is never really the play. They literally just blindly copied what the NYXL are doing, even to the point that they're not making obvious adjustments, right? Well, okay, the McCree Echo. I can somewhat see it. I kind of like the Reaper more because I think you can get some flanks and you can get some interesting things, but it's fine. But then just play a Mercy. Like, why would you play Brig? If this is the comp you're going to play, and you know NYXL is going to play this comp, why is IDK not playing Mercy? Pocket Architect. Just Pocket Architect on that Echo, and they could get so much work. They have a massive advantage in this head-to-head matchup if they played the Echo, if they played the Mercy right now. But for some reason, they're playing the Brig, and the Brig is going to feel so useless for them. Is IDK bad Mercy? I don't think so. Mercy is boring. That's why. Hey, you know what's not boring? Winning Overwatch League games.
Get through this. Routing power to forward shield.
Like, if you're the Spark, how do you get in on this fight, right? Because they have McCree Reaper, they have the position, they have the situation. It's going to be a lot of back and forth with shields, right? They're going to have to rely on ultimates, but I just don't know what IDK or Friday do in either of these comps. So NYXL is actually going to step up with their window early. Not really going to get a whole lot. That seemed very ambitious to get kills. Oh, Architect gets punished by Flora on the McCree. Shy's getting body blocked in the room. Flora finally gets punished, but you know, you take those. Gushway getting body blocked. Rough. Wooler sustain, yeah, there's a lot of sustainability on both of these teams, right? But neither one of them really has engages, right? If you're gonna do something, you're gonna need to engage. I love this switch by Flora as well to the Ashe. Understanding is like, hey, if we're gonna slow things down this much, I'm going Ashe. What does Spark have to deal with this Ashe from from Flora? They don't. Well, Shy is going to be is on this McCree now, so they're going to have to engage, right? But McCree doesn't engage very well, so they're gonna have to go with Architect. Architect is gonna have to switch over to the Diva and try and create a lot of space. Flora is very, very underrated. I think Flora has made a case for himself in the June Joust. And I think that's impressive. I think Flora's turned a lot of heads in the June Joust, and I also don't think NYXL would have been anywhere near successful in this June Joust without Flora. So massive props to him as a rookie, doing very well and popping off. So you love to see it. Rookie of the year? I wouldn't say rookie of the year. Like, there's a lot of really good rookies this year, right? We got Shy. Like, Shy, as much as Flora's been really good, Shy has been absolutely incredible. There's been a couple of other ones that just aren't coming to my mind right now. Pelican, yeah. Pelican's been incredible so far in this May Melee as well. Piggy, yeah. There's a lot of really good Rookie of the Year. That's actually a very hotly contested one. So they're going to engage with the High Noon and the Copy, right? IDK doesn't have Rally yet, so they can't engage with that, but NYXL drops theirs. Great window that literally just eviscerates Yakpung. Diva Bomb, Diva Bomb. Jonek gets caught by that as well. How does Jonek get caught by that? Still waiting to see something incredible from Shy. Shy was actually pretty underwhelming in this match, but I think this is not one of... This is one of those ones that I don't think it was Shy's fault. I think this was more on... Oh, yeah, I think Jonek just misread it. I think their team just was struggling. And it's hard to pop off when your team is struggling. And they're not giving Shy any resources. Indiana Cones, thank you very much for the prime sub. IDK gets Feather, okay. Flora gets Bernardo. So time to disengage if you're the NYXL. Flora and Feather really surprised me. I think Flora and Feather being thing. I agree that Yakpung and Bianca have been struggling somewhat. So they managed to get the touch. IDK should be rallying right now. Like, someone explain to me why the Spark are this passive. Like, why did these guys try and walk through this door? We rally, we bongo, and we just fucking walk at them. Why is that not the play? But instead, where are we going? Is this their brig? No, that's Shy. What are we doing? You have rally, you have bongo. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. They literally just let NYXL walk onto the point. Just let them walk in. Just like, oh yeah, they have to touch the point. Oh yeah, we have this big positional advantage. Let's just give it all back to them. Like, yeah, you're 5v6, but you have the advantage. They have to touch the point. Just murder them. And then they're gonna engage with a Diva Bomb. Why not use the bongo and the rally, then go super aggressive with your Diva and the rest of your team? Your Diva can go first because she has Diva Bomb. And then once you go aggressive, Bernard can go super aggressive with the bongo, with the rally, just run over Jonak, and then he can use the bomb to close out the fight if necessary. But instead, they throw the bomb into Narnia, where no, it's not gonna hit anybody. The bongo goes down. We still have not rallied at this point, this far into the fight. The bongo goes down, but no one's really playing aggressive. They're getting countered by a window now, and we still have not rallied. What are we waiting for?
Cease your resistance.
Why, please? Now we're gonna rally, so we're gonna High Noon rally, but now the Bob's out. So the Bob is gonna get traded for the High Noon probably. Yeah, there it is. The bongo from NYXL is here. And then they just get... That was so bad. It's really confusing. Like, Spark went 4-0 in the East. They looked so good. They were so good. What happened, man? It looks like they lost all their confidence and they just don't know how to play this anymore. Oh, Mercy. IDK's on Mercy. Nice. I like it. Big plays, big plays. Hey, buddy. I know. Hey, buddy. What's up? And Shy switches to the Ash. That's also a good change. So there's a good change, but is it too little too late? Find out on the next episode of Hangzhou Spark vs NYXL. Whoa.
seconds.
Oh, look at this. Look at how smart this is about to be. Look at the giga brains of the NYXL. And look at this. They have the rally ability, and they're gonna press it early to push their advantage. Let's see how it plays out. Wow, that seems oppressive. That seems really hard. Oh, and it's this interesting thing as well, because Spark have to touch the point, kind of like NYXL did on their defense when they were coming to touch the point. So because they went aggressive with the rally, Spark has to run through the pain of the rally and get disjointed because they have to touch the point. Interesting play by the NYXL. Revolutionary.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Diva.
Good play by NYXL. Good play by NYXL. That was well done. This is really disappointing because I love watching Spark play usually, but something's off. Something's off with this team. I don't know if they're nervous. It's the crowd. Something's getting to them, but they don't. It seems interesting. Rally engage equals good. Yeah. So we're gonna go back. Obviously, someone's gonna play Mercy, right? With the expectation that the other team's gonna play. They literally came up with the solution of like Ashe, Echo, Mercy. They came up with it and they were like, this will force NYXL to do something different. And then they just play Brig on defense. As if NYXL is gonna play a different comp. But they know they're not. So why not just play the Mercy and damage boost Shy? And let Shy win you the game as they have been for the last while. It's so weird. Did Friday just... So Friday goes to Mercy. I love that change from NYXL. But maybe they're afraid of Shy. I actually really like this comp by NYXL. I wish they kind of stuck it. I actually really like this. Okay, here's the only thing that I actually respect about this change. I actually kind of like this switch by NYXL. Only on the back of the fact of, if they just go McCree, if they just go Reaper, Echo, Brig, they know they just win because Spark's comp is worse. Because... if they play the Echo Mercy, they are challenging Shy. Just don't challenge Shy. The only way they really lose is if they challenge Shy. So if they just go Reaper, Echo, or McCree Reaper, sorry, and they just walk at the Spark, they win. So I actually kind of like this change by NYXL, not giving the Spark the opportunity to just let Shy carry the game. So they just go the McCree Reaper. And they're just, what's gonna happen is that Spark is going to have to give them a ton of space just because their comp is playing Reaper Brig. And then at the end of the day, NYXL is going to win the head-up fight. They're just going to get positioning at some point. They're going to go in with the McCree Reaper, and they're probably just going to have more damage. So they fake the room and then step up again. Oh, Shy takes out Jonak. Good play by Shy. As I said, don't challenge Shy. Shy has a Bob. Friday has 33% ult charge and Shy has a Bob. Feather has 17% ult charge, and this is why you never challenge Shy. Alright, see where we go. Was Bob needed? Yeah, I think you put it on. Like, as much as it might not be necessary, he's Shy. He's gonna get another one for the next fight. And look at how afraid NYXL is. They're just gonna go all the way around, all the way up, up and around. Okay, they're applying a good amount of pressure. Shy has another bob. Okay. Well, that's going to be giving him a good amount of space. I like Shy holding onto the bob for now. Wait for the window to go. Wait for them to start pushing. Probably bob time now. Time to throw the bob. There it is. I kind of would have liked it like over here, but okay. I love the reposition by NYXL. Look at that. That was very smart play by NYXL, moving around them. Essentially negating the bob. How does Architect die? Oh, great play. The Holt into flashbang into fan the hammer. Woo, gets deleted and then use rally to engage. Hard rally engage right here. Oh god, Flora was so lucky he didn't die to that. And then they just go. They're just playing in their win conditions. Okay.
Victory.
And that's it. Rip Spark. And that's the start of Spark. And I don't think Spark deserved to win that game. I think they definitely had a misread on the meta. They didn't look comfortable. They felt like they practiced a lot of playing the Winston style, and then they just got caught out that they couldn't play the Winston style, which is surprising to me. This late into the June Joust, they realized you can't play the Winston. A lot of teams learnt that. You know, Fate, even in your own region, Fate tweeted out, maybe Orisa was the problem, like Orisa is the solution because you can't play Winston because it's just too much damage in the game. Especially when people play Mercy.
Wobble, wobble, motherfucker.
There's just too much damage and it makes it really hard, and Spark get punished pretty hard for that. NYXL look fine. They look good, but I think NYXL is going to struggle against Atlanta and I think NYXL is going to struggle against Atlanta and Dallas. I think the tempo in which they're going to... I don't think they play the shield better than Atlanta, and I don't think they're ready for the tempo that the Dallas Fuel are going to run at them. So, as I said, great result for NYXL. Regardless of how they do at the playoffs in Hawaii, in that whole situation, regardless of all that, this is a success for NYXL. Congratulations to those guys. They look really good. They have a rookie team, and a lot of their players are stepping up. So, congrats to them. I hope you guys found this review interesting. I'm sorry I got a little mad, but that was frustrating to watch. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next one.